Are we live? We're live. Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world, my beautiful friends. It's Mike Duffy from don'tgethacked.ca, mupoentertainment.com. We're in my Mupo. I went all the way to New Jersey to get this sweater this summer in July. So, as you know me, I'm Mike Duffy, also co-author of Brand Sharks Volume 1. Congratulations, Brown Sharks Volume 2. Hey, Michelle. Hey, good morning. I think it's still morning there. I don't get sidetracked. Okay. Have a I have you a masterclass Wednesday, November 22nd. It's coming up and we're getting prepared. We've got a lot of swag to hand out. You know me, I'm Brand Shark, Mike Duffy from mupoentertainment.com and don'tgethacked.ca. I don't have a copy of my book because I gave them all away when I went to Dubai. I took Mupo magazines, I took Brand Sharks, I took other swag. Like I'm just Mr. Brand Shark. So I always make friends and I always give you presents because I want you to remember me when you need technology help. So anyway, masterclass on Wednesday, November 22nd, 5:30 p.m. I don't think it's sold out yet, but I got to go check the website. So it's on Eventbrite. We'll do our best to live stream for everybody so you can catch it's brand new speech. You haven't heard this one yet. So we're not even going to really talk about technology. We're going to be talking about omnipresence and broadcasting your message through a podcast format on mupoentertainment.com. So we will be talking about podcasting, but the whole purpose is purpose, defining your purpose, being authentic person, no scammers. Like if you want to grow your business 10x, that is the title. Be authentic. Be an authentic human to grow your business 10x. How are you going to do that? Define your purpose. You need to know what your purpose in life is. Number two, you need to know what authenticity means. I meet a ton of people, and the reason they struggle with their businesses is that they're not authentic. They don't have a purpose. They're not authentic. And the only way you're really going to be confident with broadcasting your message to the world, to your clients, to your partners, to the important people of your life is by being an authentic human, right? So this is where a lot of people stumble. I see it all the time. People are grinding. They got a ton of hobbies, but if they're in it for the financial success and not the purpose and authenticity of being of themselves, they're just going to keep hitting roadblocks. You got to figure out what way you're going to go. So I'm making notes for my speech, right? So it's Saturday. I've been up. I still got to go do my workout, but there's been a couple things. I've been up early this morning, a couple other things. I didn't finish yesterday, but I wanted to finish first thing in this morning to get those early wins in for the day. You know, you hear a lot about success, and not every day is a good day. I didn't even post. I got really pissed off yesterday because I'm fine. You're not always gonna have a good day because as a business owner, you're going to be dealing with customer service. You're going to be running into people and you're like, why do I attract these type of people? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. If you're being, I just want to make sure my microphone is working because I'm using my Rodecaster and let me just check. Yeah, I think the Rodecaster's on. Okay, I think I'm using the right microphone. Okay. If you are broadcasting your message and you're working on your omnipresence, so you're going to have your offline marketing, you're going to have your online marketing, you're going to have your videos, you're going to have your whatever. You're going to have all these different forms of communication to your clients, potential clients. You're going to attract, if you're disciplined and doing it on a daily basis, you're going to attract so many different types of people. Heads up. Not all of them are going to be end up being good customers. Your messaging is going to attract a lot of people, and you've got to figure out if they're realistically, you got to figure out if they're authentic, right? This is why you're supposed to have different price points and different solutions for the end user. Because at the end of the day, some people are going to tell you you're too expensive or you're too cheap. I'm running into that all over the place. So if you run into it a lot of the time, you know you're making headway, you know you are broadcasting your message and people are seeing your message because they're interested in your product or service, but they may not be able to afford it. Grant Cardone 10x talks about this stuff all the time. Um, because I've had clients for a really long time, like a decade and a half, and the ones who like your service and appreciate your honesty, your authenticity, who you present yourself as a business owner, if they appreciate you, they're going to pay whatever you're going to charge them. Because when you start out, your pricing might be here, and as you get more confident with your skills and your service and become a specialist, you get your 10,000 hours in, you become an outlier in your product and service offering, and you become a specialist. What you're doing is you're really you're like a doctor, you're prescribing a solution to your end user that you know is going to work and is not going to waste their time, their finances, or their emotional energy. That's what's going to happen. Not everybody wants to pay for that. Let's get clear and be honest. Not everybody wants to pay for that. I have clients where I've lost them because I'm like, in order for me to provide you the service level you require, you got to go on a monthly recurring package, pay that same amount for the rest of your life, as long as you're running that business and you need our tech support, or you're going to be paying hourly. And the hourly rates at a certain price, and that is to make the accountants happy, and that's to make sure that everything in the business runs. And if people aren't happy with paying that price, I want to know it upfront before we provide them assistance. Because at the end of the day, we're going to provide 3 levels of service. I've got the service levels defined, and you may run into this. People asking for the free stuff, right? They're never going to pay you. They appreciate your honesty. They appreciate your level of skill set. They appreciate what you bring to the table, but they can't afford you. And that's fine. But as a business owner, you got to get over that mental stumbling block and say, okay, not everybody is going to appreciate my paying for my service, but if there's freebies, videos, YouTube videos, podcast videos, before and afters, step by step instructions, you're going to get a lot of people who get attracted to you. And that's where they're going to start. They're going to start at they consume the free content. This is what all the self-help people, self-help guys do, right? They got a ton of video content, they got a ton of YouTube content. And then you see their prices of their courses, and people are like, oh my God, they want to charge me $97 for a webinar or $1,000 for a webinar. If you align with their message and like their messaging, you're probably going to, but you don't want to pay that fee. You're probably going to be watching those videos for a month, a year, 5 years before you are confident in yourself that you can actually follow somebody else's advice and take advantage of that education that they're bringing to you, right? So I've seen that with my progress because I've hired business coaches, and I'm like, my how my how my learning style works and how my brain works is, you can give me a binder, but I need you there in person with me or on a stage or video so I can work alongside stuff. And um, what the business coaching I've resonate like I'm serious. I have gone through at least I've been in business 17, 18 years under one franchise, and now as a startup we're in our second year as a startup company, rediscovering how to properly deliver business services. Because unfortunately, when you're following somebody else's rules, um, you're gonna run into a lot of pain when you find out things don't work the way you think they should work. And you outgrow a business model. Simply just what I knew I was outgrowing my previous business model, but it took a while, years and years and years of reassurance and self-discovery before I realized that yes, I need to move away. But then of course I was already 2 years into 10x training and coaching at that point. So anyway, long story short, You're going to have the people who are not comfortable with paying you for your service, or they can't afford your service. That's going to be the first level. That's going to be the do-it-yourself stuff. Hence why you need to be omnipresent with a podcast and, showing your product and service. Because you know what? You're going to always have competitors. You're always going to have competitors, and you're going to have competitors that are more expensive than you and competitors that are undercutting you. I know what my competitors charge. My price is right in line with most. However, I know a lot of people are going to tell me I'm crazy with my pricing. I'm not crazy with my pricing. I just can pay all my bills at the end of the month. That's how crazy. I know what the cash flow looks like. I know the numbers, right? So I can charge more, but I know I'm going to lose a ton of customers, and hence planning to open up an international office so we can have our Canadian subsidiary, Canadian services, and then which will be somebody else performing the on-site service, and then me as a premium for remote support, and then opening up the office in Dubai and seeing what that market can handle for services, prices, my brand Shark Marketing, the mupoentertainment.com full service entertainment platform. We got to test these things in different markets to see what type of feedback we get, because primarily I deal with North Americans, and everybody's under a squeeze in North America, it seems, with inflation. So hence new markets. Let's give that a try and see how it goes. Okay. So when you're broadcasting and broadcasting your advertising, your marketing messages to people, so you're going to have the ones who are interested, they can't afford it. You got to give them freebies. That's where your do-it-yourself stuff is. My book, Brand Sharks. You can go to brandsharksbook.com, watch it, right? You're gonna have to listen to this guy talking and talking into this camera, but I read it to you, right? So I'm like, that's a complimentary version. It's not on Audible yet. It's not. I'm like, here's the free version, so you can learn more about me and my other Brand Shark authors, like Ruben and Glenn and Brandy Connor, and like all these friends I've met over the last couple of years because we wrote a book together, right? So free content, the do-it-yourself stuff. Then I know I'm going to have some tech savvy people who understand technology, but they want to do it themselves. But they want step-by-step help from a professional, from an expert, somebody who's got 20 some years of technology experience. So that is where the done with you, right? Because if you know technology and you know the importance of security and backup, what do I preach all the time? What do I preach? I preach backups, documenting all your data sources, determining which are kind of going to hit you the hardest with your financial and emotional well-being, because you're going to have a lot of digital shit, right? Little files all over the place. You might have one computer, you might have 5 computers, you might have a whole bunch. You might be holding on to technology that you're not comfortable getting rid of because you don't know if you actually got everything. Well, let's work together. Done with you service. You know what you got. I've got forms and paperwork for you to fill out, where we're going to document everything, rate the importance of it, and then create a data backup, and most importantly, a recovery plan. Why do you want a recovery plan? Because I don't want to give you a false sense of hope. I want you to understand my method of madness for knowing what your recovery plan is. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have a false sense of security. Flood, fire, theft, user error. Could be you, could be your loved ones, could be a partner, could be children, could be your neighbor, could be any people in your life who you're relying on for technology support, who may think they know what they're doing, but at the end of the day, they're not paid professionals. And are they going to be there to help you put your digital life and your finances and your emotional well-being back together when your Facebook account gets hacked, Instagram gets hacked, your online banking gets hacked, and your bank accounts are all frozen. Just stuff I run into. You walk into your business and your servers are offline and your computers are offline because you and your staff members have been using the same password across all the computers. Somebody figured out how to get in, and they've hacked and ransomwared all your stuff. And you thought you had backups, and then you realize your backups are also ransomwared. Like, this stuff happens to real people every single day. And the only way we can prevent flood, fire, theft, user error, hackers, and all the other disasters in life is knowing where your stuff is, knowing it's secure, knowing it gets updated and modified every couple months, passwords, backups get tested, all this stuff, and having a recovery plan for it. So that way you or your partner or another family member or me and my 24/7 call center or whomever you're relying to recover your data knows exactly the steps. We wanted a well documented, thought out recovery plan for when we need to recover stuff. So do it yourself help, first level, the people who don't want to pay for your services, right? Or aren't comfortable paying for your services or don't want to pay for your services. And then once they trust you and we get to that point, then they'll pay for your services. So DIY for the ones who want to learn everything and don't have the finances to pay for anything. Done with you, where you are providing personalized help with them via their preferred communication method, right? It's not a business is up to us to be successful, but you have to empower your end users. You have to empower your customers, clients, the people who trust you. You need to empower them, right? So how are we going to empower them? Finding out what communication method they like, and then whether that's text message or FaceTime or Google Chat or Microsoft Teams. Like, everybody likes a different video format or WhatsApp's in there, different video format, different texting format. Be flexible. If they're paying you for help, be flexible and make it as easy as possible for your end user. Because you know what? It's going to happen. They're going to love you and they're going to refer you. And if they can refer you to their whole team, 10 people in their then you know that marketing's expensive, right? But omnipresence isn't expensive. So let me say that again. Marketing's expensive. This stuff costs money. Freebies for my speech on Wednesday. All this stuff costs money. Streaming every day does not cost money. You can do it with a laptop. You can do it with your phone, laptop, all this stuff. I am using StreamYard. I do pay for StreamYard, but StreamYard allows me to give everybody daily updates, and we can do like very low cost, but Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter right now is where I'm broadcasting to. And from doing daily live streams since I got back from Dubai, I've been able to get verified on LinkedIn. Facebook and Instagram want to give me a blue check. I don't want to give them $30 a month. It's not about the cost. It's just that I've had so much issue with Facebook and Instagram in the past because my ad account is blocked. I don't like giving them money because I've given them thousands and thousands of dollars in ad dollars in the last 4 years, and my account's partially disabled, so I'm not giving them any more money till they fix their end. Anyway, the free content, we start there. Do it yourself, right? Do it yourself content for people so they get warmed up to your brand. Or you're gonna have people come in at the middle where it's done with you, where they know they know, like in my case, they know technology, but they don't have the level of experience I do, and they just want step-by-step help, right? So what does that usually end up meaning? I'm, charging them $97 a month for 24/7 access to me, and we're gonna make sure they got backups and they know how to recover their backups. And I'm just gonna text message support, FaceTime, like that's what you get, right? And then the next level is done for you, where we do everything for you because you trust it. You don't know technology. You trust us. You understand time and services cost money. And you've got to be, it usually ends up for people having more than one person in their business, right? Done with you is usually the solo entrepreneurs, the digital entrepreneurs, people 30, 40, 50 who know computers, but they don't have my level of tech skills and they just feel more comfortable trusting me to step them through what to click on their screen or confirm that they've rebooted their devices or whatever, right? So I got 3 levels and I got 3 levels of pricing, right? So this is what you got to figure out in your business because at the end of the day, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I got my thought here. Um, I was really offended yesterday because I've had this customer for a really long time and they know I'm quick and efficient because I've been, in the technology world a lot. There's only been twice I've ever heard this. Some people say you're too expensive or I can't afford that. And then I'm like, okay, let's figure out what your budget is and see if we can get you to fix some, help me save you money by streamlining what needs to be done. And if you can do some of the steps yourself, it's less of my time. You're going to appreciate it. And then, you know, I know I still have your captive attention in my audience. So I've only heard this word twice. So I know at this point in my life, I've been seeing signs all over the place. It's time to move on and change the postal code. I think I posted something about this in February that I was really disheartened with things that were happening locally. And I love Alberta and I love where we live, but when you feel like you're a big fish in a small pond, you need to go somewhere else. That's like it's happening a lot, right? So um yesterday I was called exorbitant. I was told I'm from somebody who has had my services off and on, never complained about a bill ever, all the pricing's up front, all that stuff. It's just like I price shopped you after the service. And I'm like, okay. Well, I know I have competitors. I know a lot of my competitors are going to charge more than me or less than me. So you telling me you price shop me after the fact? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what happens, right? It's what happens. I fully understand. And I've had a lot of training with objections. So it's like this, and I'm like, okay, I understand this. I'm like, you understand we're providing a convenient service. We're driving to you. You don't have to drive it to the computer store. Like I can counterbalance, I can counter object with my service. I can counter any objections I get because I've been doing it so long and I understand everybody else's pricing. I just know it because I check competitors' pricing all the time. There is ways for me to give you a lower cost deal, but it's going to rely on you doing more stuff yourself in the process of me helping you. And if you're not really willing to do that, the price is the price. Like it's not going to change because I know what our cost of business is. I know what the cost of business is. Anyway, so yes, I haven't heard that word for a really long time. But it's somebody who's been avoiding paying a bill for like, I know it's bad, 3, 4 months. And usually customers are sent the link to prepay before we even deliver services. But if we have an existing customer, we've been letting them pay as they go because usually there's a check in my mailbox within a week or two from anybody who's on, we do service, then they'll pay within a week. That's been, I'm not going to force you to pay up front if I've been extending you credit and you've been paying within a week, you're not going to ruffle my feathers. But when it's been 3 months and you're avoiding my phone calls, my text messages, my emails, and every time we see each other in person, you're like, we need to speak. And I'm like, you've ignored everything. I have no idea what you're talking about. You- you're like actively ignoring me, right? So anyway, finally got her on the phone yesterday, was told I'm exorbitant. And I'm like, I gave you the price up front, and because you're a local, I gave you discounts. Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway, that's what happens in business, right? People are gonna not be authentic. Is what it comes down to. People will, you know, when they know when you're avoiding me, I know there's something wrong. When you're telling me you're trying to get a hold of me, but you're avoiding me on all levels of communication, then I know you're trying to avoid the subject, right? So then I add a so anyway, just as a heads up to business owners, it's time to move on when you see signs like um there's been a couple signs recently, and I was like, okay, I was told I was too expensive in this other area, but they hired a new IT company that's 3 times the cost we were pitching them. And then this one, there's been a few other things recently, and I'm like, okay, I still need somebody locally here to take care of service calls when we get them. But since we're dealing with providing IT services to people virtually more and more and more, that's where in order for me to expand, I got to find more people to help with the provider do it yourself help to the done with you steps to, and the done for you steps to, right? So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up here because I've got to go write my speech for Wednesday. My wife told me to go do my live, and I'm like, I'm washing dishes and cleaning the house. I will go do my live. Next Wednesday, November 22nd, my speech. Be authentic to grow your business 10x. We're gonna go through the layers of defining your purpose. We're not gonna go in depth because I want you to follow me, and we're gonna help you become omnipresent with your own podcast on lupoentertainment.com, right? That's the goal, is get more people streaming. That's the goal, right? But how are you going to be confident with streaming? Know your purpose and be authentic. And then you're not even going to have to worry about your messaging, because if you believe in yourself and you trust yourself in your message, the authenticity is just going to start pouring out. And that's the best content to capture on. I'm looking at 2 different screens, 2 different cameras. We need to capture that authentic message, and that's what we want to put on your podcast, right? And we're going to help you do that. I'm a producer with mupoentertainment.com. We need your stories. We need your before and afters. We need to know how you are transforming your clients' lives. And best way to do that is capture it. I was helping out one of my clients with a crane yesterday. So what did I do? We fixed the crane, and then we took 5-10 minutes and we took a couple pictures. I took a video. I don't know if the audio worked because it was super noisy environment. And then we did a Facebook Live. So I was like, okay, we're going to fix your thing, and then we're going to put the intention out there that we're going to broadcast how cool your cranes are to the world, because not every crane company has these things. These things are state-of-the-art robotic little cranes that you control with a remote control. Super cool, but they're super, super useful. Ton of applications for these cranes. Save a lot of money too, because you don't need a big crane to do the jobs. You can use this little remote controlled crane, and it can replace your windows. You can put a hot tub into a backyard, landscaping, moving those big heavy people. Like, there's so many uses for Ken's cranes at spidermancrane.ca. We need to get his message out there more so he can fill up his pipeline and be busier and then expand, right? Because at the end of the day, if you love what you do and you're authentic with your message, you need to broadcast that so you can grow your business 10x. There. That's what the speech is next Wednesday. Anyway, Eventbrite link is right there. And why do you want to come? Well, great food, great drinks. I've never been to Last Best Brewing in downtown Calgary, but I know of it. So new place, new experience for me. Date night with my wife. She'll be filming. Hopefully live stream works out well. And presents. So, something in there. And we've got a bunch of books. We've got a bunch of books to give away, right? So door prize, knowledge, things to let you remember me. And maybe we'll have some Christmas presents as well. So who knows what's going to happen, but I'll be there, and I'm going to be helping you all. I know a lot of people talk about podcasting. A lot of people talk about making video. But if you don't have somebody to help you build that muscle of discipline and do it every day, you're going to forget to do it, right? This is why I'm doing the lives every single day across multiple platforms, because I know I have potential customers and clients all across different platforms and business professionals who know me. And then it's not always nice for them to see my daily messages. And then building the long form content of this is probably longer than podcasts are, but building the long form stuff on I do 2 places, right? Live stream it, and then the static stuff that stays on lupoentertainment.com For the tech stuff, it's going to be for my tech show. Don't get hacked. Call me for help. That would be the do-it-yourself complimentary videos. Backing up your computer, setting up passwords, learning what cryptocurrency is, learning what Bitcoin is, all that stuff is living on mupoentertainment.com. Season 1 is there. Season 2, we're just going to have to shoot that in Dubai. And the business interviewing is, again, a place for us to highlight business owners who are working on building their message, building their audience, building their omnipresence. We keep doing videos, and we're editing that stuff, but live stream for daily updates and positivity messages, podcast platform for long life curated, and discovery, because there's so many great talented artists over there at mupoentertainment.com. We got a ton of shows. You can watch everything on demand. You don't have to worry about being on YouTube and being distracted with all these other suggested videos. All the content at Mupo Entertainment is curated, it's high quality, it's done by professionals, and all these professionals are just a click away. They're waiting for you to allow them to help you with their message. And that's what our mupoentertainment.com platform is for, right? No distractions, none of that garbage on YouTube that's all over the place, right? So, because if you go on YouTube or Rumble, you're gonna just go through like this black hole of some's useful and a ton of it's not useful. Everything over at mupoentertainment.com is curated. We want you to meet celebrities, up and coming celebrities like myself and the other talent on mupoentertainment.com, but then all the specialists we have on mupoentertainment.com who have specific messages, and we want you to grow by learning from their business experiences and their messages and their services that can help you out, right? Anyway, I got to go back to work. I got to go write my speech for November 22nd and then practice it. Parts are written, but the whole thing's not written, so I got to go work on that. So again, we want to sell out my masterclass November 22nd. Be authentic to grow your business 10x. Go to eventbrite.ca. If this link doesn't work, or you're not sure how to copy paste or type that in, eventbrite.ca, search for Randy Gallant. We're gonna have a good time. It's his last mixer of 2023, and then we'll see what 2024 holds for all of us, right? You need help with your computer, just DM me or go to DM me on Facebook, or make comments, like, subscribe, make comments if you're watching this on YouTube, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram. Don'tgethacked.ca. Go to the website. Easy contact us form is there. Easy peasy, right? Have a good one. Have a good Saturday. Have a productive Saturday.